Welcome back to Cosmeholics Anonymous. I am your favorite new mama times 2, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is just a quick postpartum update. I don't think I really did this the last time. I think I just jumped into like 1 week after, but I am 4 days postpartum. I was gonna do 3 days, but I got a little busy and tied up, so I'm doing 4 days postpartum to kind of just, I guess, give a reality check in or I guess just like a little update on how things are going after having the baby and coming home from the hospital and stuff like that. I actually had a midwife appointment today. That was my second time seeing my midwife since I delivered. And so I guess if you're not caught up, if you don't follow Shooter on Instagram, or if you just are out of the loop, I obviously had the baby. She was born on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. I'm 4 days postpartum because today is the 9th. So where do I begin? Usually the first week is really hard once you bring a baby home. The experience is definitely different this time around because this is my second, this is not my first. With Salem, once I got home from the hospital, the first like 2-3 days, day 1 was okay, day 2 got hectic, day 3 same thing, but it kind of calmed down. You're an emotional wreck once you get home from the hospital because the hormones and stuff are changing and leaving your body, and you kind of just don't know how to deal. And I think most women do go through that. And so my first experience versus this time is very different because with Salem, I was new to everything. I didn't really know what was going on, and I was having trouble with breastfeeding, which I wanted to do exclusively. And so that was a struggle in itself. And because I was struggling with Salem latching, and the stress of motherhood was really high. This time, I wasn't really weary in that department. I wasn't, I guess, stressed about coming home from the hospital. Like, I didn't cry when I was coming home from the hospital, whereas last time I was crying on the way home. This time I was eager to go home because they wanted to keep me for 24 hours, but they didn't because I requested to leave. And the only reason they were keeping me for 24 hours was because my birth didn't go the way it was supposed to go, which is a part of the reason I'm sitting here today. I'm not sharing my story just yet, but I am a little traumatized. I'm definitely suffering a little bit of PTSD from the whole experience, and I'm going to talk about that once I do tell the story and share some of the footage with you. I'm trying to move past that, and I'm trying to not internalize it so much because it's really affecting me. Now, I don't want that to be confused with postpartum depression because that's not what I'm dealing with. I am literally dealing with PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. And so I'm going to give you guys both definitions because some people are going to try to tell me, Bo, you're postpartum depressed, but I'm not. So postpartum depression is a type of mood disorder associated with childbirth which can affect both sexes. So it can affect the pappy and the mammy, okay? Symptoms may include extreme sadness, low energy, anxiety, crying episodes, irritability, and changes in sleeping or eating patterns. I'm not dealing with that. Onset is typically between 1 week and 1 month following childbirth. PPD can also negatively affect the newborn child. So my symptoms don't go into this category. A lot of people ask me, like, the first time, like, how I dealt with postpartum, and I'm like, I didn't have to. And I think a big part of it is because I have so much help. I have my mom, I have Shooter, I'm not in this alone. And if you don't have help, I could totally see why you would end up with PPD. And if you are already susceptible to depression, or if you've already been depressed before and you kind of get thrown into this motherhood thing, Well, you don't get thrown into a chat, but if you get thrown into this motherhood thing, I can totally understand why somebody would end up with PPD. But like I said, that's not what I'm dealing with. So post-traumatic PTSD is a mental disorder that can develop after a person is exposed to a traumatic event, such as sexual assault, warfare, traffic collisions, and other threats on a person's life. Symptoms may include disturbing thoughts, feelings, or dreams related to the event, mental or physical distress to trauma-related cues, attempts to avoid trauma-related cues, alterations in how a person thinks and feels, and an increase in the fight or flight response. These symptoms last for more than a month after the event. Young children are less likely to show distress, but instead may express their memories through play. A person with PTSD is at a higher risk for suicide and intentional self-harm. Okay, maybe I ain't got PTSD either, but I'm somewhere in there in between. No, but seriously, you guys will understand more once I guess, share my story with what happened, but it's just been a lot these last 4 days. And even this morning, I was so annoyed. I woke up and my day was going fine. Of course I'm tired, you know, but that's normal. But they were doing like a fucking sweep in the condo parking lot, and so they sent out messages to make sure your car is moved between like 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. for today. But of course I just had a child, so I didn't even know it was the 9th, you know what I mean? And so I wake up, I'm about to like make my breakfast and stuff, and Shooter was like, what's the date of the week or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't fucking know. And I look at my phone and I say the 9th, and he's like, we didn't move the car. We're both exhausted, you know, it's hard, you know, transitioning from one baby to 2 babies, and just our schedules are different now. And so we forgot to move the car. So I was like, okay, shoot, let me go move it. It's only 11 o'clock, mind you. I don't even think it was 11. Yeah, it was just about 11 o'clock. And so I go outside to move the car, and I see a fucking ticket on my car. And I'm like, this is just not what I needed this morning. So of course I'm freaking out in the car. But anyway, I go move the car. I'm just so annoyed. So my first tweet this morning was just an eye roll, because I'm just like, this is just too much right now. But yeah, that didn't help. And so I was stressed about it at first, and then I went out to the midwife, and I came back home, and when I came home there was a package there for me from Benefit, and it kind of made me feel better. I know that sounds, but it did, because I wasn't expecting it. And so shout out to Benefit, because they did send me a little gift for baby B, and they also sent me some eyebrow stuff. And so I was like, oh, that's awesome. So that kind of turned my day around. I was like, I'm not gonna like internalize this fucking ticket, but it's a $75 ticket for parking in my own parking space. Like, do you know how annoyed I was? I was so fucking upset. I was actually really, really upset. I was legit crying in the car, like, why? Like, I just gave birth. Like, give me a fucking break. So, I was upset this morning, but we moved on from that real fucking quick. And so, I remember when I came home from the hospital with Salem, my appetite was just not there. It was just like, I just didn't have an appetite really to eat, but I had to because I'm breastfeeding, you know, but I don't have that this time around. This time, girl, give me my breakfast. I had breakfast once I got back. I had a coffee from Starbucks, so I do have a little bit of energy. Coffee is definitely going to get me through these first few weeks. I'm not going to have Starbucks every day, obviously, because I do have weight to lose, but when I need to drink a coffee, I will be drinking a coffee. Did tear a little bit, but my tear is internal again, and it's on the same side that I tore the last time. It's just not as many stitches in there. So I do have a little bit of pain in my nether regions, but there's nothing we can do about that. It's healing. It does make it a little difficult to do stuff because, girl, I'm not even trying to sneeze too hard before my stitches bust. But in terms of pain, I would say that pain is nothing compared to the pain that's in my back. I think I had a lot of back labor. and it just hurts all day. My pelvis has like a weird, I don't even know what to, I'll show you guys the area that hurts. It's my vagina still hurts, but not as much as it was before when the baby was in my stomach and there was so much pressure. My boobs are hurting. My boobs are definitely full, as you can see. Like, they're so full, and when they are engorged, they are painful. So I do have to empty them. So I'm actually kind of happy that I'm still nursing Salem, because baby B sleeps a lot. Like, the first week, your baby does sleep quite a bit. The first few weeks, your baby sleeps quite a bit. Newborns sleep like 18 hours a day. They'll wake up to feed. You have to actually wake them up to feed them. But if they don't nurse, you have to pump, or you're gonna be in a lot of pain. And so I'm not really pumping this time, because I have Salem to empty the boobs if I need her to, which is what I had to do today. And I'm a little conflicted that way. Like, I was telling my mom earlier, because my boobs were hurting so much, I'm like, I need to empty these. Even though I wanted to empty them, I didn't want to make Salem empty them, because I want to wean her, and I don't want her on my boobs for like an extended period of time. Because right now what I'm doing is something called tandem nursing, which is when you are nursing 2 babies at once. And so I tried to first wake up baby B, and she was not having it. She was like, girl, if you don't leave me alone. Like, she was sleep, okay? She wasn't trying to wake up for anything. And so I could not get my boob in her mouth for her to empty them. And so, oh my god, they're so tender. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just get Salem to do it instead. And so Salem had to empty my boobs for me. And she did, and they didn't hurt so much. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that she's still on the boob, because the suction from the medalla is kind of painful sometimes, and I think I prefer to nurse than to pump. Pumping gets really tiring. Plus, I only have the medalla swing, which is the single pump. My advice to you, if you are looking into buying a pump, do not buy the swing, because you technically should be pumping both at the same time if you can. And with the swing, I think is a part of the reason why my boobs were lopsided for so long, other than the fact that Salem had a preference. But with the swing, like, I was looking like if I can even put an adapter in it so that I can use 2 pumps at the same time, and I couldn't, or I can't. And so I was just like, okay, F this pump. This is an inconvenience to my life, and that's why I'm not pumping this time around. I actually thought I would pump, but my milk came in so fast this time that I don't really need to pump. And baby B is such a good nurser. Like, she is, you can literally hear her swallowing and see her swallowing. So I don't really need to worry about pumping this time around. So baby B was pretty freaking big when she was born. My placenta was also really big. I cannot wait to show you guys my placenta, because it's actually really, really cool. And something happened during birth that only happens in 1% or 2% of all deliveries. And crazy. Because of that, I actually, the day after birth, I was a whole lot lighter than the day that I went in. But my ending weight for baby B was less than my final weight with Salem, so the day of delivery. And so I was actually surprised that baby B weighed so much, and that how big my placenta was, because I didn't weigh as much. Keep in mind, obviously, I didn't start at the same weight either, girl. So there's that. Right now, my uterus is, I think, 3 fingers below my belly button. I think that's what she said at the office today. So I am going to show you guys how my tummy is looking postpartum. I don't think I showed this the last time. I just was living my best life. And I'm showing this because I feel like when you're on social media and stuff, you see these fucking people that have been nipped and tucked, okay, sucked out. They've had their BBLs and stuff, and so when they snap back, it's like this. it's not realistic. I'm 4 days postpartum. I'm not expecting to have fucking washboard abs, bitch. I ain't never had washboard abs in my life. But still, most people think I'm like morbidly obese, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of my face, but people think that I am larger than I am. And so I think when you see me in person, or like when I do like a video where my full body is in the shot, you get kind of taken back. And so I am pretty petite, but I just had 2 babies back to back. So I ain't too petite now, child, but I also ain't obese. The waist is still snatched. Just kidding, I don't have a snatched waist. So this is my tum-tum. And so my belly button is still out, as you can see. And this is how she looks. Your belly's like a weird, like, thing right now. Like, after you give birth, your tummy feels so funny. It's like really jelly. And so that's why you put on the belly band thing. Your stomach also gets really dark. And so this is it from the side. It looks way bigger on camera, but it's really not big. I broke a nail during delivery. And so yeah, that's how I look postpartum. Nothing to be ashamed about. I just did something really freaking cool. So I had a baby. And so yeah, your body changes so much during pregnancy. And if you're a first time mom, your body might be, and you're like expecting to like snap back, and you're not snapping back. Just stop it, okay? Just stop. It's not realistic. You can snap back at any freaking time. I'm waiting for my stitches to heal before I hit the gym again and actually work out. And I'll be doing mainly cardio. Maybe I'll do fitness videos because I need to get my body right. I haven't really been leaving the house per se. I left today, but like I'm not in the comfortable stage where I want to be out because I'm still wearing a damn diaper because you do bleed for quite a bit of time after delivery. So I do have to wear Depends, and I have to change them often just because I don't like to sit in the same one all day. That's gross. So I do rock my Depends, and that's the part of the reason why I don't really like to go out, because I don't want to put on regular underwear and a pad. And so I just make everybody else leave the house and run errands for me because I'm not doing it. I'm not going outside unless I have to. So if I have an appointment, then I will go. I'm not going to go to Walmart. I'm not going to go to the grocery store. And it sucks because we've had really sunny days here. Even the day baby B was born, it was such a gorgeous day, and I was at home all day laboring. So I never really got to experience these hot ass days. I look out the window and I'm like, oh, I want to go out there, but I'm in a diaper. I'm a big friggin' baby. Like, I'm not in the mood to leave the house. So until I'm out of the diaper, I probably won't leave the house. And so that's kind of how it goes the first 4 days after having a baby. You're really tired. You're exhausted, actually. Not even just tired, you're exhausted. You might be a little emotional. And if you already have a little one running around, good luck. I think that's like the biggest thing. I think that's the part that I was excited to see how it was gonna go, because Salem's on a schedule of her own already. Salem's already in the groove of things, and so I wasn't sure how a new baby in the mix would affect that. It's okay right now because baby B sleeps for long throughout the night. She doesn't really wake up per se, and so I can get a good amount of sleep and still, but I might get like mad tired and need a nap, and I can't take one because I'm busy with Salem. The good thing is Shooter did take a few days off of work, so he's been home to help out, to help us kind of settle in. And then obviously once he's back at work, my mom will come and take over again and mind Salem. And because baby B sleeps so much, I'll probably still be uploading, but I'm taking my time. So if you guys don't see me uploading regularly, you guys know why. Like, I'm chilling like a villain, but I will keep you guys updated with that stuff, and you guys will meet her soon. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I really want to talk about. I really wanted this to be a quick video and just talk to you guys about what's going on right now, but I'm doing well for the most part. Baby B is doing really well. They weighed her and stuff at the doctor today, and they've been checking her heart and stuff, and her temperature, and just she's as healthy as can be, and that's all that really matters. I'll be back in like 3 days to tell you guys how my first week actually went, and then we can do the story time. Oh my god. I'll probably cry when I'm telling it. But yeah, anyway, I love you all so much, and I will definitely see you in the next one.